Hello and welcome to your RE homeschooling video for today. This one is going to be about the parable Jesus told about the two sons and is aimed for Key Stage 1, so roughly sort of 5 to about 8 or 9-year-olds. Now the two main points in the story that you need to look out for are what Jesus teaches about obedience, which means basically doing as you're told, and secondly about helping other people. So watch out for these two things that are taught through this story as I tell it. The parable of the two sons comes from the book of Matthew. Jesus often told parables to make people think. This is a parable Jesus told us to help us think about obedience and helping other people. What do you think? Asked Jesus. There was a man who had two sons. He went to the first and said, "Son, go and work today in the vineyard." "I will not," the son replied. But later on, that son actually changed his mind, and he did go and work in the vineyard, as his father had asked. The father had also gone and asked his second son the same thing. He said, "Son, will you go and work in the vineyard for me today?" And the second son answered, "Yes, I'll go and work in the vineyard." But actually, in the end, he didn't. He went and laid down. He was lazy. He did not do what he said he would. So Jesus asked the people listening to the parable, which of these two sons did what the father wanted? Who do you think actually obeyed his father? And the crowd all answered, well, the first son did. Jesus then said, people may start life the wrong way, but they can turn to God and obey him. It is important for us to turn to God and to do what he said. So let's recap what that story meant. There were two sons. One, when he was asked to work in the vineyard, said he would. But the first son had said he would not. But in the end, it was the one who said he would who didn't, and the one who said he wouldn't who did help in the vineyard. So you see, it wasn't just about what they said they would do, but what they actually did. And what Jesus was saying is, it's not enough just to say you're a Christian, but you need to be a Christian to follow God and what he teaches. Some Christians follow what God teaches and obey him to go and help other people in other countries, and we call these people missionaries. I worked as a missionary for a while. I went to a country in East Africa called Uganda. Uganda is about the same size as the United Kingdom, but it's much, much poorer. People have very little there. In fact, people in Britain have around 100 times more money than people who live in Uganda. So it's very important that people follow God's call, they are obedient to it, and they go to these places and help other people. Many people in countries around Africa, in South America and parts of Asia in particular, they don't have fresh water to drink, they may not have enough food to eat, enough money to live by, or a safe home to live in. So God often calls Christians to go to these countries and help them. Thank you for listening. If you do have any requests of slides you'd like me to cover, stories you'd like me to cover, or any questions about Christianity you would like answered to help you with your homeschooling, then do let me know.